A coalition of federal and state prosecutors, judges, religious leaders, and law enforcement officials urged President Biden to commute the sentences of dozens of federal death row inmates before President-elect Trump takes over in January. According to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, as of October 1st, there were a total of 2,180 death row inmates in the United States. The vast majority of these inmates are held on states' death rows, not in federal prisons. Only about 40 people are currently on federal death row, including some of the nation's most notorious killers. During the last 6 months of Trump's first term, a record 13 federal inmates were executed. Before this, the federal government had not put anyone to death in 17 years. Although Trump has vowed to resume federal executions, it's unclear if his pick for Attorney General Pam Bondi would push to restart them quickly. The Trump transition team did not respond to a request for comment. If Biden does commute the sentences of federal death row inmates, the move cannot be reversed by Trump. White House spokesperson Andrew Bates declined to respond to the letters and referred to comments made by the White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre last week. She told reporters, quote, "The president is reviewing other pardons and commutations. Certainly there will be more to come. I'm not going to get into private deliberations." Among the groups that wrote letters to President Biden are Fair and Just Prosecution, an anti-death penalty group, the Catholic Mobilizing Network, a coalition of 200 Black faith leaders, a group of 29 retired corrections officers, the American Civil Liberties Union Legal Defense Fund, Amnesty International, and 12 Latino advocacy organizations. A separate letter was authored by a group of 100 business leaders, including Sir Richard Branson, the founder of Virgin Group, and former Meta executive Sheryl Sandberg. These requests come shortly after President Biden ignited a political firestorm by issuing a sweeping pardon to his son Hunter Biden, who was convicted on gun charges in Delaware and pled guilty to tax evasion. Some Democrats and many Republicans have blasted the decision and complained that Biden only pardoned his son rather than include him in a broader clemency effort that would include those convicted of low-level drug offenses and commuting death penalty sentences. Mr. Biden has only granted pardons or sentence commutations to less than 2% of those who have applied, one of the lowest for any president in the last 50 years. For more on this story and extended White House coverage, visit WashingtonTimes.com. That guy's got a blowtorch.